wrap up, there's just a couple of things that I want to share. And, the first is this concept that everything rises and falls on leadership. John Maxwell. And as I've had my experiences in this business and watched people, to me, that has come true so many times. I was talking to one of our coaches last night that's in Puerto Rico, and some of the challenges that tend to be there, that it's a small group and we're trying to get this thing going. And we just talked about it's the power of one leader and their influence and their consistency that they bring to the table, that over time doing the right things that can create this critical mass, this tipping point in the business that can make absolutely phenomenal things happen. But as you look at this concept of leadership, I think it was Bonnie that talked about it, sometimes we also overcomplicate it. We try and make it such this big thing, we mystify it, we complicate it. And I would just say to you, as you walk out of here as new leaders, to simplify it. Really, all the leadership is taking yourself and taking other people in the direction that they want to go, showing them that it can be done, and how to do it. By keeping it simple. They just want someone to follow, they want to believe, and they want someone to show them how to do it. Sometimes when you ask yourself the question, why would anyone choose to follow you? I think it's a great gut check question. But typically, it's really made up of the fact that you've been able to simplify, focus, and just execute consistently in your business. And as you walk out of here tonight, today, tomorrow, hopefully you get home with the weather, right? But as you take all of this information that you've received, the most powerful thing you can do is to simplify it. To take those key pieces that really resonated with you and make it simple, and then repeat. And get the flywheel going. And move it, and move it, and move it. And know that it's going to take time to do this. As Melanie said, sometimes you just have to jump and build your wings on the way down. I love that quote. And it's very true. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out as you do that, but it's the consistency. We've shared these goals for this conference. You've seen them 100 times already. You've got them in your workbooks. These are guide points. These are goals that we hope that you'll take, that you'll commit to the sales team, and as they check in with you, that there's something that will help you know if you're on track. And that's why these are there. But they're great benchmarks for determining where am I in my business, and am I on track? Do I need to pick up the pace? Am I doing the right things? Do I need to confront the brutal facts of where I am in my business? Do I really need to step up the pace? But these are some great goals, particularly being a 2015 elite coach that we love to celebrate. As Doug and as Arnold were sharing today, it's just not that, but it's the confidence that it gives you. It's the kind of business that you're developing as you move along. So a lot of great content. We're deeply indebted to Melanie and to Michelle and to Bonnie for everything that they shared. So I want to end with two little stories, okay? So 2 years ago, we had the opportunity to go on an Elite 10 trip, okay? And we were in Italy. Melanie and Matt were there with us. We were in Tuscany. We spent the first 3 days, we went to Rome. And it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, on these trips, they are literally the trips of a lifetime. Kelly and her group, it's just 5-star everything, fantastic. So we finished our Rome trip, and then we went out to Tuscany. These rolling hills, it's like just out of a postcard. I mean, I start to drool when I think about it. It's so beautiful. We stayed in these great hotels. And one of the fun things about this trip is we always try and build some adventure, and one thing I love to do is to cycle. And Carl likes to cycle, and there were some of the coaches that like to cycle, so we do these road bike trips, okay, where we get out and we were supported with this group, and we go out and we ride the hills of Tuscany, okay? And you just had to stop and pinch yourself, because you're just going, we are in Italy, in Tuscany, staying at these beautiful resorts. Is this for real? Well, we were staying at this hotel out in the country called Fontanella. I think it was Fontanella, or I can't remember if we were at Fontanella or we were going to Fontanella. But it was that we had biked that day, and the next day was the last day that we had an opportunity to ride. And the tour guides that we had with us said, this is the ride. This is the ride that you want to be on, because it's the most breathtaking, these landscapes, the hills, and I love to, I'm not very good riding flat, but I love to do the hills. I thought, oh, this will be absolutely spectacular. So that night we were all gathering together and we were talking about who's going to ride the ride tomorrow. And of course everybody's excited about it and all in. The next morning comes. We get down to the breakfast place. It's cloudy. It's supposed to rain. The wind's blowing. And I've got, not my biking shorts on, but I've got my shorts on because we're going to leave in about a half hour, 40 minutes. I thought I'll do a quick change. And as I get down to where everyone's having breakfast, everyone's just kind of sitting there around the table and just kind of going, it's a little chilly outside. You know, the wind's blowing and it's supposed to rain and it's supposed to rain, you know, kind of hard. And, you know, yesterday kind of took it out of me. And I think today what I'd like to do is I think I'm just going to take the bus into Siena. Okay, and I'm kind of looking at all these faces because I was so excited to go on this ride. And I thought, hell or high water, I'm going on this ride. And then as I looked around the table, everyone's kind of going, not me, no, you know, I'm good. And I said, well, where's Carl? Okay, because I know Carl really wanted to do this bike ride. And I think it was John that said, John's, I think, or Carl's, I don't think he's riding. I think he went up to his room or somewhere. So I was a little dejected, because I thought, here's this opportunity of a lifetime to go ride this most beautiful area, even though the weather's not great. So, kind of lost a little bit, but I walked up to where the vans are that are storing all of our bikes that are going to take them to the next place. And I walk around the corner, and here's the vans, and here's Carl. And he's got his biking stuff on. He's on his bike. He's got his helmet on, and just putting his water bottle in. And he gives me this look like, dude, you riding? And it was like, I was going, I didn't think he was riding, and I knew that my bike was stored in the back of this thing, and he was taking off, the bus was leaving the station, and I sat there, and I kind of just thought, okay, what do I do? Really want to do this, but it's going to really be inconvenient. Kind of lost the heart a little bit. Carl takes off. He's going. And I knew I could catch him. I knew I should, that's kind of a joke between us, but I knew I wouldn't catch him here, but I'd catch him on the hills. But then I thought, this is going to be really inconvenient. And so I said, in that moment of truth, I said, you know what? I'll just take the bus. And I've regretted that moment ever since then. And it's become a little bit of a joke between Carl and me that we were saying, Jeff, what do you remember me best for? He says, I remember those words. And he says, no, I think I'll take the bus today. You know, kind of a thing. And we got back in there, so we rode the bus, and as we rode and we actually passed Carl, got into Siena, he comes walking into the restaurant, he's got his biking stuff on. Jeff, it was the most magnificent, beautiful ride I've ever had in my life. It was breathtaking, it was incredible. You should have taken this ride with me. And there's a moral to this story for you as coaches. Here I was in Italy, once in a lifetime opportunity. Gorgeous, beautiful. Probably only do that once in my life. Opportunity to ride with the CEO of $1 billion plus business. You know, just kind of that one-on-one bonding time. Great opportunity. And when some people said no, when some people kind of let me down a little bit, when I found that I was going to inconvenience somebody else, I said no. I kind of gave in that moment. As you walk out of here, you have an opportunity of a lifetime, I believe, where you represent one of the greatest companies in the world that seriously will put a bigger handprint, leave its fingerprints on more people's lives in the fitness and wellness arena than any other company has the opportunity to in the entire world. It's like that Italy trip. It's this beautiful, this incredible thing. But as you walk out the door, the winds will blow. It's going to rain. Some of the people that you're counting on, that you thought were going to ride with you, are going to say, well, I'm going to take the bus. Okay? When it's your time to go, and you might be inconvenienced, you will inconvenience other people, and you'll be inconvenienced. In those moments, as you leave here, as you look at your ability to lead yourself and to lead your teams, it's going to be that moment that will surely come, probably more than once, probably 2 or 3 or maybe 50 times. But it's those moments that are going to define the level of success that you have in your business. The moral of this story is, don't be a Jeff, okay? Ride. When you get out of here, no matter what, make the decision that you're going to ride. As Carl said earlier, that you're going to be relentless. That you're going to take the steps necessary to professionalize yourself. That you'll do those things. Run your own race. Ride your own ride. But do it. And people will follow you because of the example that you set, and because of where you're going, and because of the way you do it. So, we've talked over the last 24 hours a lot about the fact of here's how I build my business. Okay? And you've got all of those pointers. And again, I believe that we're probably the best and will become the best in the world at what we do. You know, when John talked earlier, 17 years ago, they started this company as a direct response company, an infomercial company. And arguably at that time, we're the very best in the world as well. But as we started to evolve as a company, they saw that there was a more powerful way, a better way to share who we are and what we do. And that was through coaches. It wasn't through TV, but it was through people who had stories that would impact others, that had the ability to connect, that the connection would be stronger and more impactful than TV could ever be. While this is a business, it's a people business. And it's your ability to connect and to leave impressions on people that are going to count, that are going to create followership, that when the tough times come, that they'll stay with you and stay with us. And it's your ability to, like what I call this, to leave a mark on other people that counts. And that's the responsibility of a leader. One last little example of leaving a mark. So, a long time ago in my life, I traveled quite a bit. And many of you know I have a big family. We have 7 kids. We have 6 girls and a boy. And oftentimes, as I would travel, we'd get up early in the morning. I'd get up early in the morning and I'd have to leave. And it was this thing that always nagged at me. And I thought, I'm missing my kids. I'd like some way to let them know that the last thing that I was thinking about was them before I left. And I'd always tell them I love them when I call them. But then I got this idea. I thought, what would be kind of a fun way to let them know that the last thing that I was thinking of was them before I left. So I get a felt marker, a little Sharpie, and whenever I left in the morning, I'd go down in their room. Sorry. I've told this story before. This shouldn't be emotional for me. A lot of times, I'd go down into the room, and messy hair, stinky breath, slobbery, all over the place. I'd grab their hand, and I'd rub a little X&O on their hand. I'd go to every room, and I'd do that. And I've now done that for 20 years, 20 plus years with my kids, with my own kids. And this has become a tradition in our family. And for me, it's a mark of my role as a leader in the family. To do something little that tells people that you're thinking about them, that leaves a mark. Maybe it's that little thing for me that's a little bit of the rinsing your cottage cheese that I talked about the other day, as a dad. It's that one little extra thing. Remember that in your role, as you walk out of here, in all of your business pursuits, that it's a people business, that your responsibility is to leave a mark, a positive mark, on other people's lives. That will enhance your leadership. That will enhance who you are. It will deepen the respect that other people have for you. It will deepen the integrity of who you are. It will deepen the integrity of the company. And it's just fun to do, by the way. So as you walk out of here, we're a company about getting results. We're a company about changing other people's lives. Take what you've gotten today and yesterday, simplify it, focus. But whatever else you do, ride. And ride and ride, and great success will come your way. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you later on.